Welcome to this episode of Biz Takeouts, Biz Community's sound-bite-sized news to go, made possible by Wits Plus, celebrating Deaf Awareness Month this September. The language school at Wits Plus offers courses in South African Sign Language, and they've put together a series of short videos to introduce viewers to the deaf community and culture in South Africa. I'm your host, Angie Lawrence, and today I'll be chatting to Helga Louw, the Business Development Manager at Wits Plus. So Helga, what is the aim of Deaf Awareness Month?
Angie, the World Federation of the Deaf first observed an International Day of the Deaf way back in 1958, and it has been observed every year since then. The aim of Deaf Awareness Month specifically is to encourage people to learn sign language and also to learn about deaf culture. So in September every year, the focus is on awareness of the social exclusion that deaf people may face, and also to encourage the inclusion of deaf people in society. The month also then raises awareness of sign language, which helps deaf people to communicate and makes society more accessible to everyone.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Helga. And on that note, can you tell us more about the sign language used in South Africa specifically?
South African Sign Language, or SASL for short, is the first language that deaf children use, deaf children who are born to deaf parents. So sign language, and in South Africa then, South African Sign Language plays several roles in the deaf community. Deaf people use the language to interact with each other and to pass on cultural knowledge, and it is therefore a very defining aspect of belonging to deaf culture. South African Sign Language is about to be recognized as South Africa's 12th official language, which is a big development. So for that reason, we put together a timeline of the development of SASL, dating all the way back from 1863. And this timeline can be viewed on the Wits Plus press office on Bizcommunity. Then one more thing that I want to mention. While it is a first language for the deaf community, many hearing people obviously also communicate through sign language with their children, their friends, family, and their colleagues who are deaf.
That is a huge achievement, Helga. I didn't actually know that, so it's very interesting to know that sign language is going to be recognized as the 12th official language. And while we are talking about how big it is in this country, some of us may have run into a deaf person, maybe have a deaf colleague, and we're not sure how to react because language is a barrier. What are some do's and don'ts when interacting with a deaf person?
So I'm going to really mention just a few very basic things. We have made a video that covers very specifically how to interact with a deaf person in more detail. So two of the really important things is do make sure that you face a deaf person directly and that you maintain eye contact when you are speaking to them. That then means that you shouldn't turn around, move away, or just kind of look around while you are speaking to the deaf person. And what goes hand in hand with that, of course, is to make sure that you speak clearly and that your mouth movement is natural. So make sure that you are looking at the deaf person and they are looking at you while you are speaking.
Thank you for those tips, Helga. Very, very useful. Obviously very important to face the person directly, and the part where you spoke about mouth movements being natural, also very important. Now, can you tell us more about these videos about deaf awareness that our audience can watch?
So as we mentioned, September is the International Month for Deaf People, but some people may not know much about the deaf community in South Africa. So we have created a series of short videos to introduce our audience to the deaf community and the deaf culture in South Africa. There are 4 videos. In the first video, Candace Morgan, who is one of the facilitators at the language school, explains what Deaf Awareness Month is about. In the second video, then, she shares more information about the deaf community, including how South African Sign Language is used, that we spoke about briefly just now. And then, as we also mentioned before, the third video outlines some of the do's and don'ts when interacting with deaf people. In the last video, Candace demonstrates the deaf alphabet, and she also shows us how to introduce ourselves in sign language. So make sure that you head over to the Wits Language School YouTube channel and click on the Deaf Awareness Month playlist. We are publishing a new video every week during September.
Lovely. Some very, very useful information there. So definitely encourage our audience to go and check those videos out. And then lastly, Helga, the Language School at Wits Plus offers SASL courses. Where can our audience find more information?
So the Language School offers different and quite a number actually of South African Sign Language courses from level 1 through to level 4. The course facilitators, just to tell the audience, are first language proficient, and they have also been trained to teach both hearing and non-hearing students. These sign language courses are offered on a part-time basis, and they run over 10 weeks. For more information about the upcoming intakes in 2023, our audience can visit the Language School website, which is wits.ac.za/Wits Language School, all one word.
I definitely encourage everybody that's listening to go and check those courses out. Definitely will become in very handy, especially with sign language becoming the 12th official language. So definitely check those courses out. Thanks so much, Helga, for joining me. I really appreciate having you on the show. It was really interesting to talk about Deaf Awareness Month.
It was indeed. Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks, Angie.
And that's a wrap on today's show, with thanks to Wits Plus for making it possible. It's Biz Takeouts. Take it where you like it, when you like it. Bye for now.